Hello BookTube! Today I'm going to be reviewing a book. It's Goblins by Philip Reeve. May have seen that I received this in my Goblin Loot Crate box in my last video, and very honoured to receive it I was. So yes, Goblins. Possibly the greatest title for a book ever. Can't imagine any of you would disagree about that. And it comes in a very attractive shade of green, even on the edges of the pages, which is a bit of a rarity. So a bit about the book. It's a book that takes place in a fictional fantasy world at a place called Clovenstone, where Clovenstone is the last refuge of magic in a world that has been overrun by humans, and from which magic has largely retreated. Clovenstone is a sort of derelict shadow of the former glory that it once enjoyed under the Lich Lord, a powerful sorcerer who ruled the world. And now it is the sort of collapsing home of goblins and giants, the last few who remain, who once ruled the world in the Lich Lord's name, keeping all those pesky humans under control. And obviously there are goblins in this book. Hurrah! Those goblins, however, don't really progress far beyond throwing rocks at each other, intellectually speaking. So not at all like the reality of goblins, such as myself. It does feature at least one goblin with the correct level of intelligence. And by that I obviously mean far surpassing that of humans. And that goblin is the main character in the book, called Scarpa. I think this is an illustration of him here. He's upside down there. Oh, let's try that. Yeah, there he is. And that's probably a good opportunity to say that many of the pages have sort of small illustrations, or perhaps decorations might be a better way to describe it. But it all adds to the fun and finish of the book. Now Scarpa is very switched on. He in fact is a thinker. The sort of thinker who teaches himself to read in a culture where reading doesn't even exist as a concept. Remarkable. Unfortunately, that sort of thinking makes him rather unpopular with the other goblins, to the result that he gets loaded into a catapult and launched out of Clovenstone. And that is how he meets Henwin. Henwin is a human, but quite a good human. He's a cheesemaker, well he was, but he's gone in search of adventure. And seeking that, he's gone to the legendary Clovenstone to do adventure-y things like slay trolls or rescue princesses. And he thinks that finding some goblins to slay would be a good start. But when he meets Scarpa and discovers an educated, intelligent and relatively decent being, he suspects that Scarpa is not a goblin, and together they begin the exact sort of adventure that Henwin was after. Now, if I ignore how offensively stupid most of the goblins in this book are, there are some rather amusing characters amongst them, as well as ambitious ones. And there's a lot of little amusing facts that the authors added to the book to give an idea of goblin life in Clovenstone, which is humorous and enjoyable. Shows the author's put some thought into these characters and these beings that he's described. So in addition to the goblins, there is a troll and a giant and some treelings, which are sort of little bushes that run around, I think. Oh, and a princess. Can't have a heroic adventure story without a princess. Quite a cast, all told. The only other humans to really feature in this book are some wizards. Or at least they claim to be wizards. They're really the sort of street magic magicians that can't really do magic. Or can they? And these wizards are kind of interesting throughout the story, because they sort of start off being bad guys and then maybe they're good guys. Oh, no. Probably bad guys. Or maybe good guys. Bad? Good? Oh, they're bad. Oh, wait. Maybe they're good. And the princess is amusing. She's a princess. She was a princess that was captured by a giant, but actually became friends with the giant and doesn't really want to be rescued. Indeed, in this story, more than once, the princess is the one doing the rescuing. Now, there are a few problems with this book. Possibly the main issue with it is some of the vocabulary choices are a little bit wrong for a middle grade book. Seem to be using uncommon words kind of for the sake of it. Some might consider that a good thing, to expand a reader's vocabulary. Just didn't really feel right in a humorous book about goblins. And the ending was a little disappointing. Despite there being other books in this series, I would describe it as a standalone novel. And it definitely works as a standalone novel, with everything quite neatly wrapped up at the end. A little too neatly, perhaps, as it just didn't leave me wondering what was going to happen to the characters next. So, in summary, this is a humorous and quite enjoyable, pleasant length, middle grade book, with some great characters and an okay plot. 3 stars. I'll add at this point that I'm currently reading Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo, so I'll be returning soon with a review of the Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom duology. Bye for now.